Shalom Israel. First of all, we give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Shem Al Shai, by Shem Kadash, the ones the apostles and elders who millstone teach us his truth. Peace and blessings to all of like Israel and Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father in ancient Hebrew. By Shem means the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the only begotten Son. Back with our lesson. And today I'm going to these end time signs that we are seeing, ultimately showing us that we're nearing the end of Israel's kingdom. We got this main article right here, and a few scripts that came to mind, and Lord will be a fine lesson. Let's get into it. It says, longest lunar eclipse in centuries coming. In centuries. Let's continue on. It says, the longest lunar eclipse in over 500 years will occur in the early hours of November 19th, lasting several hours. So, Yahweh has shown us of the times that we were in by the way of these signs and these prophecies, man. Look at this. Longest lunar eclipse in centuries coming. Come on. And it's just, more than this right here. Then it's just, lunar eclipse. The peak of the partial eclipse will take place in the pre-dawn hours on Friday when 97% of the moon will be eclipsed by the Earth's shadow. The previous longest partial eclipse took place in 2018 and lasted less than 2 hours, while this will last for several hours. Continue down. The eclipse will be visible from all 50 U.S. states, Canada, and Mexico, as well as parts of South America, Polynesia, Australia, and China, according to NASA. So this is nearly visible from everywhere, man. From everywhere. This is from, nationwide, so all 50 U.S. states, Canada, Mexico, Australia, Polynesia, South America, China. Come on, bro. This is literally, going to be visible nearly everywhere, man. So the moon will be at its farthest point from the Earth during the eclipse, slowing its orbit and extending the time it takes to move out from the darkest part of the planet's shadow, known as the umbra. As the moon, Earth, and sun will all be aligned, the Holcomb Observatory has released a video detailing what the eclipse will look like, which you'll see right here. There you go. See, Yahweh is showing us of the times that we're in, by the way, these signs and these prophecies, man. We're seeing end time prophecy taking place before our very eyes, man. It says the event will begin shortly after midnight, and unlike a solar eclipse, no one will need special eyewear to view the phenomenon. When the eclipse occurs, the moon will take on a reddish hue, with only a silver of the actual moon, also like a sliver of the actual moon, visible. The event will last for several hours, making it the longest of its kind in 580 years, with the next lunar eclipse not occurring until May of 2022, which we may, be out of here by that time, and Lord willing. Just look at the times that we were in and heading into. You're seeing tons of end time prophecy, these end time signs. You're seeing tons and tons of chariot sightings, on a daily basis, man. Brothers will be at camp, prophesying, teaching, and you'll see a fleet of chariots fly over the brothers, man. And recently myself, I seen, one a few days ago, man. Which, throughout Yahweh for that. But Yahweh also shows us, these signs to show us of the times that we were in, and to also increase our faith, man. To keep us pushing, to keep us fighting, man. But you see right here also, you're seeing thousands across Italy want, the juice green pass scrapped, and rumors of wars, which we get all the scriptures right here. Book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 2 through 8. And Yahweh said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Which right here is going to list off these end time signs, which we're going to see when we're nearing the end of this devil's kingdom, and signs of Yahweh's return. Verse 3, as he sat upon the mountain, all his disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Which is not going to the literal end of the whole world, the earth, it could be, it being destroyed. It's going to the end of an era, the end of a rulership, the end of the devil's kingdom, man. So tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Which is listed off right here. Verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. So you also see, tons of these other Israelite camps leading our people astray, taking the bag, and you also see them promoting the juice, and even taking it themselves, man. So you have a lot of our people, or a lot of these, Israelite camps leading our people astray, man. Also with these Catholic and Christian churches, I mean, that's just basic stuff right there. But let's continue on. Verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we're also seeing right here. You're seeing small little fights and battles breaking out between these different nations. As you see with, Iran and America, and just multiple other things with China, I believe, testing a hypersonic missile. So, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So we're seeing rumors of wars, thermonuclear warfare. I mean, this is prophesied in the scriptures, man. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. There's still more to be fulfilled. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing small famines breaking out. And pestilences, we're seeing, it's in 19, not a pestilence. There's multiple variants breaking off from the 19. I mean, come on. And earthquakes in diverse places. Seeing earthquakes everywhere, man. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is just the beginning, man. And it's at more onset, book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25 through 28. It's lucky. And there should be signs in the sun, and the moon, and in the stars. Read that one more time. And there should be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. Signs in the heavens, man. As you see with this lunar eclipse, there hasn't been, this long of a lunar eclipse in 580 years, man. I mean, that's plain as day right there. You also seen in China, or I believe it was China. There was an article that goes into how there was two suns over there, in the sky, where what it looked to be, it may have been a chariot or something, artificial, but hey, it's due to Yahweh signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars. You've also seen tons of chariot sightings. And upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity. You've seen tons of riots, fights breaking out between, nearly everywhere. I see in these different nations, people are not agreeing with the juice mandates and how they need verification to travel and to go inside stores and businesses. So, I mean, that's right there. And the sea and the waves roaring, seeing disasters, hurricanes. Verse 26, men starts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So they're going to be shook and afraid when they see Yahweh returning with the multitude, the angels in those chariots, and these prophecies that are playing out, man. And these signs in the sun and moon, and just other things also. Verse 27, and then shall they see the Son of Man, which is Yahweh coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Which is literally not going to a literal white puffy cloud that you see in the sky. It's going to a chariot, man. Verse 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, and look up and lift your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. We're almost out of here, man. Our redemption draweth nigh. Yahweh is hastening the days for his elect, which we'll get that in a minute. 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1 through 4. He answered me then and said, measures all the time diligently in itself. And how do we measure the times that we were in? By the way, these signs and these prophecies that are taking place and playing out, man, to show us of the times that we were in and about to go through. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that at this very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, verse 3, which is be, by the way, Yahushua. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproar of the people in the world, which you're seeing now, tons of earthquakes, you're seeing uproars, riots, fights breaking out, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So it just goes to show that, hey, we're nearing the end, man. Measure the times. By the way, these signs and these prophecies, hey, this place is through. Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 22, going to tell Yahweh shall hasten the days, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So Yahweh is hastening the days for his elect, man. As you see now, the days are flying. I really, nearing the end of this year already. And just look how much, prophecy that has taken place and played out, man. You're already seeing the build up towards the MOTB, pursuing back to Revelation 13:16. Famine is a word. Chariot sightings. Riots, protests, wars, rumors of wars. I mean, come on. Are people waking up, especially, which is also a major, prophecy also, man. Are people waking up, which is a, end time sign, especially, because us waking up as a people, come back to who we are is, an end time sign to show you that, hey, this devil's kingdom is finished. It's where you also see these devils trying to keep this word, this truth from spreading. That's why you see them making changes to the algorithm, making it harder for this word to get out. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're just they're fulfilling prophecy also, man. The script says you can't do anything against the truth before the truth. These devils think they're, in control. They're doing what they want, but it's ultimately due to Spirit Yahweh Shema Shai, man. The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11, and that knowing the time, now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is salvation nearer than we believed. And it reads this beginning real quick, and that knowing the time, now it is high time to awake out of sleep, which is not literally going to your physical sleep where you're just laying in your bed with your eyes closed, is going to spiritually, man. Because you have a lot of people that are, spiritually asleep, not knowing who they are as a people, what's going on, and the things that are happening and what's coming. Especially with all this prophecy taking place, a lot of people are clueless and blinded, man. And a lot of them will remain clueless and blinded, man. Which everyone has their own lights. But then that knowing the time, now it's high time to awake out of sleep, wake up, repent, man, open your eyes, man. Take heed to his warning that Abba has given you through his prophets, which, through his men. And repent, man. For now there's salvation nearer than we believe, or else you have to take part in this judgment and destruction to come, man. And you don't want that as a, a scary thing you don't want to experience, man. And you really meditate and think about it. You don't want to be left behind when you see, the brothers getting beamed up in those chariots, before these tabernacles hit. That's a terrifying and scary feeling, man. So that's why we got to do as much as we can to make our calling to election sure. But pretty much hit the main point of that lesson. Lord wants edifying. Just make a quick lesson going to that lunar eclipse. Because you see right there, it has been a lunar eclipse, which that lasted that long in, over 580 years. So, I mean, just goes to show you how much Messiah is showing us, of times that we're in, by the way, these signs, and that we're almost home, man. So stay strong and continue this fight, man. We're almost out of here. But once that final lesson, once again, I'll close out. I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Messiah, Bashem Kakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone for teaching us the truth. Peace and blessings to all of Israel, and shalom. See you next one.